Folks, this literally was Texas State Rep Nicole Collier last night, sleeping at her desk on the floor of the Texas House. No, she didn't get evicted from an apartment. No, she could afford a hotel room. But the Republicans, they told her unless she signed a permission slip, she would not be able to leave the Texas House. They locked the doors. They want her to join the other Democrats who broke quorum to sign a permission slip that says that they will be accompanied by a Texas state trooper wherever they go, because they don't want any of the Democrats leaving the state again to stop the racist gerrymandered maps from being passed. Now, they plan on passing these maps tomorrow. And so as a result, Representative Collier joins us right now from the Texas House floor. As you see behind her, nobody's in the chamber. She's wearing the same clothes she had on yesterday, I believe. Representative Collier, glad to have you here. People around the country literally saying, what the hell?
You know what, Roland? Thank you for having me. So am I. It is absurd, as you say. It is as absurd as what you explained it. I mean, the audacity to expect a woman, a person, a human being to be subjected to this type of treatment is un-American. It's uncalled for and unnecessary.
Okay, so walk people through what you were told, because you're the only one, meaning all the other Democrats who broke quorum, they signed that permission slip.
Yeah. So listen, once quorum had been established, I did return to the floor after the quorum had been established. And the reason why I returned to the floor was because there was a potential for a fight to change our constitutional rules. And you need at least 45 Democrats to show up. So I was one of those who came to be here for the fight with my Democrats. But what I heard once the quorum had been established was the speaker say, those Democrats who broke quorum are free to leave this building if they sign a permission slip agreeing to be released into the custody of DPS, not just monitoring, but being in their custody. You know, that sounds criminal. I'm not a criminal. And I know it didn't sound right. It didn't make sense to me. And I wasn't going to go with it.
Okay, and not only that, correct me if I'm wrong, another state rep told me that they're requiring each member to pay for it.
Well, I'm not sure about this particular one, but before, when they had DPS looking for us when we were out of state, going to our homes, unnecessarily being wasteful, sending DPS officers to our home to look for us when they know good and darn well we were out of state, because there was very good evidence of that when we were doing our interviews and meetings. But that's just more proof of their waste.
Why come back? I made the point last week that listen, if these other Democrats wanted to come back and wanted to break quorum, let them. But essentially, Black caucus members, it's like you're going back to your own lynching. They can pass the maps. They're going to pass the maps. It's going to decimate Black political power. It's going to cut from 4 to 2 Black congressional districts. There are some other legislators that did not come back to Austin. So why come back?
Well, you know what, Roland? If I didn't come back, would we be able to see the grit that is in every Texan right now? The crowd that is out there fighting against this corrupt system, who do not want to see these rigged maps pass? No, we wouldn't see that. That's why you got to show up. You got to show up to fight. Not showing up, you lose. You're guaranteed to lose. But you got to show up in order to take that fight. And that's what I did.
But aren't y'all guaranteed to lose tomorrow? Because the reality is Republicans, they have a supermajority. They can pass the maps without y'all. But had the quorum break held, they would not have an ability to even have hearings or even pass the map. And so did you and others want to stay out? Or was it simply too many other House Democrats said they weren't going to go back?
What we wanted to do is push back. We want to show America that we're not going to just roll over and take it. We're going to fight and push back. We want to bring that back into our party, into the Democratic Party, and let them know the fight never left. You just got to tap into it. And so that's what we're doing. We're showing America, even against insurmountable odds, there's still the opportunity to fight and make a change. Again, we know what the numbers are. I can count. I can handle. I know even sloppy Ted Cruz's sloppy math will count and show that 62 doesn't equal 76. So we know that we have to be here to try to push back and fight against uh, any effort to reduce our power. And we can only do that if we're here.
Okay, so clearly every other Democrat signed this slip. They've got a trooper that's following them around. Um, and were you there by yourself all night?
No, no. In fact, the chair of the House Democratic Caucus came back, Jean Wu, as did Representative Vincent Perez from El Paso. And today, just today, 7 of my colleagues tore up their paper and they have joined me on this floor. They will be with me tonight in solidarity.
Okay, so you'll be joined by several other House Democrats tonight.
They're here. They're here right now.
Um, you talked about the folks outside. They also arrested some protesters last night who were outside of the chamber. And again, for folks who don't, so did they physically lock the doors? Meaning you cannot leave out of any exit of the Texas House?
I cannot leave the building. No, I cannot. The doors have been locked. In fact, they've cut off the live stream that usually runs 24 hours a day. They cut that off in the chamber. They have locked the gallery so no one can come in here. And the doors have been locked and they've been manned at all times.
All right. So since they've done that, do y'all plan to set up your own live stream so people all around the country and the world could see what's happening?
Yes, in fact, on my Instagram and Twitter page, we are live streaming so that you can watch. And we want to make sure that there's transparency. And so that's what we're doing. That way we can hold this government accountable for their bad acts.
This is, one of the things that that I have consistently maintained is that what you have here is you have a complete assault on black rights. There are more eligible black voters in Texas than any other state. And what I've said is that the fundamental problem in Texas is that it's not an organized. It's not organized. It's not an organized state.
All right, I wanted to see what's going on here.
Okay, what's going on?
I don't know. The speaker pro tem just walked in, and I don't know what's going on. So I
Okay.
just like to be nosy. That's the type of person I am.
You said so. The speaker pro tem, is that who's behind at the podium?
Yeah, he's back behind me. Yeah, I just like to know what's going on.
Gotcha. For folks who don't know, who is the speaker pro tem of Texas?
Joe Moody,
Joe Moody, Republican?
Democrat from El Paso.
Democrat from
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Gotcha. So we can read a lot into that. What I've said is that the problem in Texas is that it's not organized. You had, when Beto O'Rourke lost to Greg Abbott, some 75% of young people 30 and under did not vote. You've got the same thing in terms of black vote. And what I keep saying is the only way to defeat these fascists, I mean, you got Greg Abbott talking all kind of smack on social media, lying left and right, but the folk have to vote. The votes are there, but folk got to actually use their voting power.
Right. I mean, I'm telling you, but they want to see something. They have to feel compelled. We're not dealing with the voters from the past. When my mom and dad voted, it was to protect their civil rights. We've got that gap generation where they got to feel something. They don't know the struggle that my parents had and the struggle that I had. Because we did so good, we're all sitting comfortable. A lot of people are, and so that may be harmful. I mean, it may not allow them to see the challenges that our ancestors face. And on top of that, when our government is telling you that you can't teach critical race theory, you can't teach diversity, equity, inclusion, They're going to be a generation
Yep.
of lost souls if they don't know the struggle and the fight. Because not everybody who looks like you are your friend, and not everybody who says they with you are.
I think that was that a state lawmaker behind you who tore up her paper? Uh,
Yes, yes.
if she could step in, that'd be great.
Lisa, they want you to come on in. All of you, come on
Yeah,
in.
yeah. So, so
Everybody.
here's what we do. So, if y'all could actually just step back, if y'all could step back that way, and if you could put a couple of on Felicia's side, excuse me, on there you go, there you go. Just step up, step up, just step up. All right, there we go. Just give us your names.
State Representative Jessica Gonzalez from Dallas.
Cassandra Garcia Hernandez from Dallas as well.
And I'm Mihaela Lisa from Collin County.
The three of you had previously accepted that permission slip, signed it. Why did y'all decide to tear it up today?
Well, I just want to say Representative Collier's courageousness is contagious. And she was right. You know, I think that we all need to be very vigilant as to what's going on in our society. And sometimes we so easily just sign something, right? And we don't realize with that signature that we might be signing away our freedom or our dignity. And that happens all the time, right? And so what Representative Collier did was shine a light on that. Her instincts were correct. What she did was right. And I think that within the chaos of everything that was happening, you know, we got caught up in the hustle and bustle of things. But when we slowed down and we started paying attention to what, you know, the light that she was shining, she was right.
And I'll add that I think Representative Collier mentioned that part of this fight is showing up for the fight, right? And once we knew there was quorum, then we wanted to be here for the fight, because for the next part of the fight. And so, yes, I mean, I signed that permission slip as well, but you know, seeing, you know, our colleague stand up for our democracy, standing up for what is not right, because we are not criminals. I am a lawyer myself, and I understand the law, and nowhere in the rules does it say that once we voluntarily show up to DPS, that they are allowed to have DPS follow us everywhere that we go. My neighbors think that I'm a criminal. They're concerned, like, why are there police officers that are surveilling your home? And we're not criminals because we have not broken any law. We're setting up for our districts. And it is not our fault that our Republican colleagues claim to be voting their districts. We are doing what our districts want us to do.
Yeah, and I might just add as well, I mean, quite frankly, none of us intended or even knew that this was going to be awaiting us whenever we showed up. So I think a lot of us were just caught off guard and realized that everybody was essentially going to the room and doing this. And so we just naturally were thinking this is just normal, but it's not normal. And it took the courage of Nicole saying, I will not do this, for us to take a pause, just like my colleague said, to take a pause and recognize that we shouldn't be, just like my colleagues have said, be treated like essentially like we've done anything wrong, because we haven't. We've done everything and used every tool that we constitutionally have. And now we're returning back to carry the fight over here. We're not running away. We will be here. We intend on being on the floor tomorrow so that we see this through and that we can take it to the courthouse. And so the fact that we are being treated and followed and having to sign away, essentially, just like Representative Collier has said, you know, the ability and the action of giving them that permission just speaks in multitudes. And that's not what Texans deserve. That's not what we've been elected for. So we knew that it was right that we needed to equally be here and support Representative Collier. She has always very often been a voice within our caucus and pushing back and asking why. And you know what? This was just another instance of when she did that. And just like other instances in the past, she was spot on. So I think what's really important too is that we've got some colleagues that maybe they want to be here, but they can't. And everybody has their different way of being in this fight. We don't want to divide or not recognize our other colleagues that are equally contributing in different ways, whether it's not necessarily being on the floor right now, but they're working on the strategy for tomorrow because they're lawyers or what have you. But this was a moment where we all decided this is where we we need to be, and so that we can continue with Representative Collier to bring light and attention and continue to be at the forefront so that people don't forget what's about to happen tomorrow.
This is going to decimate black political power in Texas. Look, I'm born and raised in Texas. I'm still registered there. I live in the my home is in the congressional district of Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. My parents have worked elections more than 50 years. I go back multiple generations in Texas on my paternal, on my dad's side. And, you know, there are a lot of folks, including me, who wanted Democrats to hold out longer, to stop them from passing anything. And do you believe that with what we're now seeing, with the actions being taken, how y'all are being treated, that did any of you want to remain out to prevent a quorum? Because the bottom line is they got the votes. They have the votes. They can ignore Democrats in Texas like they can in Alabama, in Mississippi, in Tennessee, in Georgia, in so many other places.
You know, one thing that was very interesting when we got to Chicago is that we got to go visit our friends in labor. And one thing that they have shown us is when you're part of a group, you stick with the group. You may not agree to the path, but when the majority does, you go along and you don't cross that line. And so they have been a shining example of what it looks like to stand together, because that's how you make change or get change, is if you, stand in solidarity. In fact, they gave us these bracelets that say solidarity to remind us of the importance of staying together, because when we're together, we win. We may not win this particular battle in terms of the maps, but the public, they'll have the ultimate victory when they get a new president and get Trump out of that White House. And when we can make sure that we protect people's ability to have food, access to health care, earn livable wages. And so these are things that we're fighting for. And it takes a lot of us to work together. So if Texas is going to do 5, we want California to do 5. If Florida does 3, we're going to have to pull to New Jersey and Maryland and New York. And we're going to keep pushing and pushing to see if we can bring in other supporters to take the same action. Because, I know that they say when they go low, we go high. But Roland, that high road has crumbled. We're on the dirt road now.
No. Let me be perfectly clear. That was Michelle Obama. I don't believe I don't believe in going high when they go low. I believe in going lower. Because I'm just being perfectly clear. Listen, Texas Republicans have shown us they don't care about rules. They don't care about procedures. They support Donald Trump. We see it in D.C. These people have, and listen, I know y'all. Look, y'all are elected. Y'all have all them phrases. My colleague, my dear. I don't use all of them. These people today, they have no morals, no values, no principles, no ethics. They do not care, no integrity, no honor or decency. It's about power. And Democrats are going to be, to be clear, as ruthless and as gangster, because what they want to do is they want to lock in white rule 50 to 100 years for Texas to be 61% people of color. And they literally want a congressional delegation that is more than 70% white. Is crazy. But I keep saying, you can't have 61% people of color in Texas, but 61% of the voters are white. Black people and Latinos are going to have to turn out in massive numbers in the next election to change what's happening in Texas. Otherwise, they're going to keep doing whatever the hell they want to do.
Roland, you ain't lying. That's the truth.
100%.
Absolutely the truth.
So, do you get to bring in food? What the hell? Do they control everything, or is this like a hostage negotiation where you got to negotiate stuff?
I actually did negotiate something. So the bathroom, I can use the restroom. I'm allowed. I eat and I have water. In fact, what I negotiated was being able to go to my office and back as long as I'm escorted with the sergeant or in DPS. But the hosts have been very gracious. The only thing I don't have is a shower, so I'm still in the same
Or
clothes.
bed.
Or bed.
Bed.
Oh yeah, no bed.
Yeah.
But my chair, it's working.
Okay. Well, you know me, I'm like, damn, I wish there was a window in the bathroom you can crawl out of. But oh well.
Oh, I look.
I would like for y'all to comment on this. So one of your colleagues, Guy, pulled a tweet up. She posted these tweets earlier, and it was just crazy. When I saw this, I couldn't believe it, that here she was on her morning walk. And she posted that that there was a Cheryl Cole, that she said, while on my morning walk, let me read this here. In the Muller neighborhood, my DPS escort, who was forced upon me to track my every movement, threatened to arrest me. He lost me on the trail, got angry about it, and made a scene in front of my constituents on the trail. While a little shaken up from the incident, I remain undeterred by this intimidation tactic by House Republicans to have a 24/7 state police presence to intimidate me and my colleagues. This is also why I stand with my colleague, Nicole Collier, who has refused to go along with this charade and is still on the House floor 24 hours later, will not be intimidated by this. In history, we remember this. I mean, damn, he's mad because he can't walk as fast as she does.
Now, Cheryl, she likes to walk now. She just, and these are her streets now. She knows which way to go on those streets. I don't know what happened. Cheryl is very kind, a very kind person, very astute. And so I'm disappointed to hear that this happened to her. And again, more intimidation tactics. And remember, they are doing DPS, the Department of Public Safety, they're taking their directives from the Speaker and the Governor. They're doing what they are being told to do. This person may not even approve it or agree to it, but he's got a job. He's got a job that he has to do. And so, we got to be mindful of that. I don't like the tactics that are being used because I don't want anybody to lose their job. But if they have to go to the point where they are no longer professional, we got a problem.
I agree. And so, look, good luck with this. I plan on, we're looking at dates now, so I plan on bringing my show to Texas because, again, we know they're going to pass the maps. They're projected to pass the maps tomorrow. But the only way to counter these fascists in Texas, that is, they have to be taken out at the ballot box. And I really hope that people now wake the hell up and realize what is going on, because this is all about satisfying Donald Trump. It is about creating a schism between African Americans and Latinos. And we know exactly for what this is. And so keep up the fight. And we definitely will keep giving them hell as well, because at the end of the day, this nonsense has to stop.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Roland.
All right. I appreciate it. Y'all be well. Thanks a lot.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.